What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. In this one, we will be going into the tome of Arks of Omen Book 5 once again, but this time we're not looking at the battle between Primarchs, we're looking at the battle between Space Marine captains and Angron. So we do have a little bit of Primarch action going on here, but we have none other than Azrael of the Dark Angels and Dante of the Blood Angels trying to stay alive against the might of Angron, the demon Primarch of Khorne. So if you guys want to read this for yourself, I greatly recommend you guys check out the 5th book of Arks of Omen, The Lion, because it is jam-packed with awesome battles and awesome lore. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and dive into this battle. Azrael's armor was drenched in gore, as was the bone-white plate of the Terminators and Blade Guard who fought at his side, corpses crunched and squelched under their every advancing footfall. Guns thundering, fists and blades swinging, the Deathwing hurled back the cultist mob and butchered them to the last man and woman. Azrael led his warriors up a wide metal ramp, riveted together with bone. Pistons strung with pumping muscle formed a wall to one side, while to the other, the ramp dropped away towards a valley of iron and crumbling stone, where loyalists and heretic battled furiously amidst ever-churning machines. Azrael's instinct was to turn and aid his battle brothers, but with Vox and Oxpex useless, he had to reach high ground to regain clarity on the wider strategic situation. Striding over a carpet of the broken dead, Azrael crested the ramp and marched out onto a wide open platform. He ignored the blood-wet clots of machinery that jutted from the platform's surface, and the yellow eyes set on their dripping flanks. On the right flank, Samael and his Raven Wing had cut deep into the foe's lines and encircled a swath of tech mutants and Khornate renegades near the foot of a clockwork edifice. The left flank, by comparison, had developed into a ferocious firefight as Dark Angel armor met stalking Chaos Knights amidst crumbling Gothic towers. Azrael could see a red-armored figure battling one another furiously as the Blood Angels and the World Eaters clashed in dozens of separate conflicts. For all the dark grandeur of this spectacle, Azrael's attention was drawn to the ruined top of the high tower, now less than a quarter of a mile ahead, where the elite of the Blood Angels were fighting Angron. The fury of that fight had blown out walls and sent avalanches of masonry raining down into the streets under the tower. Angron and his enemies now battled in full view between the surreal remnants of interior walls, columns, and stairways. Corpses clad in red or gold armor were scattered everywhere. Azrael wished for a moment that his vision was not so keen, for it showed an inescapable detail: the catastrophic wounds that had reduced the once proud warriors to so much as just mere mangled metal and meat. Some bodies even dangled from lengths of twisted rebar that jutted from the walls, impaled with tremendous force and left to hang like trophies. A Redemptor dreadnought sprawled, broken and burned against a shattered column. Rich red blood coated every surface and drooled in clotted ropes down the tower's walls. Angron was torn and bloodied himself, his armor buckled, greasy smoke boiling from the flames that licked at his wings. Yet where he had butchered almost all of his attackers, their efforts to banish him had not even slowed down the Red Angel. Angron fought like a bloody whirlwind, wheeling, hacking, stomping, and roaring as he sought to slaughter the last of the warriors who opposed him. Even as Azrael watched in dismay, the Demon Primarch's axe ripped through Commander Dante's personal banner-bearer and hurled the Sanguinary Guard across the tower, fresh blood soaking into the fallen standard where it lay. Desperate to aid the Blood Angels, but appalled at the price they had paid in their attempts to aid his warriors, Azrael raised the Lion's Wrath and opened fire upon Angron. The Deathwing needed no order to follow his lead, and a fusillade of fire split from the air between the platform and the tower's top, deadly accurate despite their range. Angron roared in fury as he was peppered with rounds, some of which ripped through his corporeal form in gouts of molten gore. As the Primarch whirled towards his new attackers, a golden armored figure rocketed from atop a broken stairway and swung his glowing axe at Angron. The Demon Primarch spun, ignoring the Dark Angels as he parried Commander Dante's attack. A shockwave exploded out as Spine Grinder met the Axe Mortalis. Angron staggered back from the exchange, and Dante was smashed from the air into the stone steps hard enough to crack them. He lay still, and he did not rise. Azrael cried out in dismay as Angron threw back his head and roared his triumph. The Blood Angels chapter master lay defenseless before him, open to the killing blow. Yet as Azrael watched powerless, shadows suddenly coiled about the Red Angel and his victim. Tendrils of mist obscured the figures, and from amidst the vapors spread incongruous green shoots of what looked like to Azrael as plant life. Shifting shapes unfurled, resembling nothing so much as a sketch of a dream of half-remembered trees. In dense boughs, more shadow than substance. In the next instance, Azrael's bewilderment gave way to awe. A tall figure in a flowing cloak stepped from the midst to place himself between Angron and Dante. Space Marines in black armor manifested around him and spread out down the steps, but Azrael barely noticed them. He could only stare at the warrior with the glowing blade and glinting shield. It did not matter that Azrael had only seen him before in tapestries. His very blood knew this warrior's identity. His gene seed sang with the truth, teetering as close to being overwhelmed as it was possible for a Space Marine to come. Azrael went to one knee. He was looking at the lion, returned to his gene sons at the hour of their greatest need. Some part of Azrael squirmed with dread, for the Primarch had also returned in time to witness the sins of the unforgiven. His mind whirled with self-reclamatory images. The rock defiled by invasion, the escape of Luther, the horrors unleashed by the T'Chula engine. Yet even these memories could not undermine the surge of raw vanity and exultation that gallivanted Azrael at the sight of the lion, alive and returned. And with that, guys, I will end it right here, because this is where the battle between brothers takes place. The Lion, Lionel Johnson, against the Red Angel, Angron, is a very epic battle nonetheless. So if you guys want to check out that battle, I do have it out on the channel. I will link it at the end of this video, so go ahead and check that out, because it is crazy. So in this one, we see the might of the Red Angel Angron taking out Sanguinary Guard, taking out Dante, and if it wasn't for the Primarch, Dante would have been gone. So that just goes to show you, as much as you would think that Dante has been reduced to like just a meat bag, a punching bag, just a demon that can just die and then come back over and over again to just lose. No, this guy is a threat to the galaxy at large. This guy can take out any chapter master, can take out any squad of Space Marine. He is empowered by none other than the Khorne god of war, death, blood, and skulls himself. So yeah, Angron is not one to be messing with, and we see it here. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the Arks of Omen as a whole. Do you think that these books led to a very great entrance for the Lion? Or do you think that the entrance of Guilliman, the return of the Primarch, was much better with the 13th Black Crusade and the fall of Cadia? But again, guys, I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. If you guys do like what we do here at One Mind Syndicate, a like, a comment, a subscription would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to go the extra mile, super thanks or Patreon will greatly help the channel. If not, I understand. Liking, commenting, and subscribing is more than enough. So as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Oh, I used to put my freedom first, and then